Did it require? Yeah, I know there's a mix of effects things, from very old school things to cutting edge. Did it require some new? Were you pushing the boundaries on the tech side?
We did in many ways. We did it in a way that is invisible to anyone, which is we created a pipeline at ILM that has never been done before, where it necessitated me deciding the shots in pre-production and basically not changing my mind all the way to the end, where I would treat the portions that have the kaiju and the mecha on a linear basis. I didn't go, show me, I had to know it from the beginning, because the cost of the movie needed to stay in check. We are, to this day, a few $100,000 under budget, and the movie's almost done. We're mixing Atmos, we're transferring it to IMAX, and we're still under budget. So either we're going to have a great rap party, or I'll come up with but that is an invisible thing. ILM's budget was much tighter than it would normally be because we were linear, and we had great communication. Now in the visible way, we did push something that I think is noticeable when you see the film. We pushed atmospherics because a lot of the fights happen in the water, in the sea, and I wanted the water to be a character. And you'll see in the movie, I think we have some of the most beautiful water effects ever created, because they are very expressive. We would call up the Hokusai wave. We would say, give me a wave that clashes, and let's do this. And we studied water movement and everything to create the character in the fight. And technically we did stuff with the effects that is not normal. We asked ILM to incorporate mistakes in the shots. The lens gets scratched. The lens is covered in water. The lens is unable to frame the entire kaiju or the entire Jaeger because they are so huge. We go back, we would set up a fight and say, we're going to shoot this from a helicopter, this is going to be in a little boat, this is going to be somebody in the shore, and then we would repeat those angles. Most of the time, the thing that I don't like in VFX is that every shot is unique and cool. It goes from the eye of the protagonist, through the window of the edifice, through a jet in the sky, comes around, circling through a teapot, and lands in the face of the person that he's having a conversation with. And I just got digital. So what we decided to do is to create a language that came from these fights happening in the real world. Another rule was, for example, that we would reach an insanely saturated palette, but using lights that look real. For example, the first fight, you only light the kaiju by the lights that are in the Jaeger. So if the Jaeger is not looking at the kaiju is basically not there. It's barely lit. So why? Because I didn't want you to feel that I was setting up a miniature stage or that it felt lit. That I wanted it to feel real. So the kaiju is only lit, and those decisions are heavy. Now technically in the sets, we built sets gigantic. You remember the Jurassic Park water circle in the glass? We created an entire set of a whole block of Tokyo that did that on the whole street. So I wanted all the puddles in the street to vibrate like that, and all the walls and all that stuff. So that was technically very difficult. We created about sets that were up with the machine and everything about 4 stories high in order to put the pilots in there, because the pilots are lodged in the robot head. One pilot controls the right hemisphere, one pilot controls the left hemisphere of the Jaeger. And I wanted them to react to every punch they did, because if you're in my head and I do this, the head shakes. And I wanted the pilots to react to that. And when they get punched, the actors were in for a big ride. When the kaiju hits, they were tossed around like the nastiest amusement park ride ever. But this, we had to create 5 really of these compounds, real size, and shake them. Then, just for you to get an idea, the largest stage in North America was able to lodge the Jaeger feet, the back of the Jaeger's feet, because they are 25 stories high. So we built the back of the Jaeger's feet, we built the top of the head, we built pieces, and we built part of that 8 stadium layout, and we shot a walk and talk over 6 or 7 different days building pieces of that so it looked continuous. So technically it's a very, very complex movie, but I think that hopefully when you see it, it should seem effortless.